Clarify, Mr. Dong, yes?
Yeah, for the recorded vote, can you repeat the question?
Oh, Madame Latanzio has challenged my ruling in regards to the amendment of Madame Goudreau's being in order. So she has the right to do that as a member of the committee, and so you'll be voting now to either sustain my decision or not. The question is, do you sustain the decision of the chair?
Thank you.
Is that clear?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Okay, on the question, shall the chair's ruling be sustained? Please vote yay if you are in favor and nay if you are against. Mr. Dong.
No.
Mr. Fergus.
With the greatest respect, no.
Madame Latanzio.
No.
Madame Shanahan.
Against.
Mr. Sorbera.
Unfortunately, against.
Mr. Barrett.
Yay.
Monsieur Gould.
Oui.
Mr. Workington.
Yes.
Madame Gaudreau.
Oui. Yes.
Angus.
Concerns with the decision of the chair, but I will vote always to support the chair.
The results are 5 yeas and 5 nays.
Okay, in the event of a tie, the chair does not need to vote the decision. Pardon me? That's okay. Yes, on a thank you. That's good that I clarify that. Yes, yes, because it's not just any tie. Whenever there's a tie in regards to a decision, the sustaining of the decision of the chair does not need to vote, and the decision is sustained. So we'll move now to debate on Madame Goudreau's amendment.
Well, thanks, Chair. I appreciate the amendment and the discussion that followed. I'll note, I want to make a few notes. I know we're going to encounter bells before 12:30. Chair, what happens in this committee is not a vacuum, nor is the work of other committees. And we've seen play out at other committees I will say hasty decisions by chairs, and though I have strong opinions on, of course, how I would like each vote to go, I get one. But the chair makes his rulings, and while I haven't been in the room for the other meetings, I know, based on your comments, that you consult extensively with the clerk. In the room for this ruling on, for myself, I don't have stake in the decision as chair. I'm not, I wasn't voted as chair by colleagues on this committee. That responsibility was given to you. And on what I would say would have been a pretty easy, decision. I think it could have been adjudicated on quite quickly. The meeting was suspended, and you consulted with the clerk on the question before rendering your decision. And I'd like to contrast that for my colleagues on the committee against what we've seen at other meetings, when we know chairs have, during this session of this parliament, during heated discussions, adjourned meetings without a vote while members withheld consent to do so. We've seen a number of procedural irregularities at best, if not violations of the rules of this place. And hear an awful lot about, with respect and with reservation on the vote.
Point of order, Chair.
Yeah, point of order.
Point of order. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, MP Barrett, for those comments.
I'm not done.
There's a point of relevance here. That what you're speaking about has nothing to do with what's on the floor currently being looked at in terms of the amendment that's been put forward by Madame Goudreau.
Thank you for the point of order, Mr. Sorbera. I think all of my colleagues here from every party know that I give folks quite a bit of latitude in regards to the topic at hand. I've trusted for all of you that you, even though you broaden your scope, you generally come to the point. And so appreciate the point of order, and I will just encourage Mr. Barrett to move the topic at hand as quickly as he can.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. So we heard comments from the members, including that member, with respect and hesitation and reservation. But that's respect and reservation and thoughtfulness is what we've seen from the chair. And to look to overturn his ruling, I think those who voted in that regard, it speaks to their motives and their intentions when we've seen the contrast, the fairness at play in this room, which doesn't always break the way I'd like it, of course, but that's how an impartial chair works. We have not seen that at other committees dealing with this issue. And so while the chair's actions speak for themselves, so do the actions of those who voted to overturn that ruling. Chair, the amendment to the motion, and we heard from Mr. Angus, and I do look down the table to see a colleague who has logged, nearly 2 decades in Parliament, and he talks about the resources that have been expended and have been devoted at this committee to some of the issues that we're dealing with, and so as to not squander the resources and the efforts that have gone into bringing us to where we are today. And we know that the amendment has been ruled in order. We know that the consideration in Ms. Gaudreau's amendment reflect the will of the committee. Again, though I personally disagree with some of the points in the amendment, I know them to be the will of the committee in its current composition. And so, while not striking the exact effect that I would look to achieve, it does affect the outcome that the majority of members on this committee have publicly stated they're seeking. With respect to the main motion and the committee reviewing the safeguards to prevent a conflict of interest in the federal government, including the CSSG and the relationship with its awarding to the WE organization, it's certainly germane. And to have an individual be able to speak to those documents from the organization, to have these documents in hand with the safeguards preferred by members of this committee, I think would go a long way to being judicious in the future use of this committee's resources and time, because in a subcommittee or in the full committee, in terms of deciding how to govern ourselves during the development and the progress of that study, we'll have resolved a question that is surely to be asked. and it'll be done with the main motion. The main motion, which has now been shortened, it's been narrowed in scope, and will affect what I have expressed, previously, as far as getting some work done, substantially looking at issues that are in the public interest and looking at them in the limited time that we have. We have, few days before the House will rise for Christmas, and it's unfortunate to be talking about Christmas now. The time is, the year's slipping away. We haven't even had Remembrance Day yet, and people are putting up their Christmas trees. And so, with that in mind, we need to get to the business that we've been sent here to do. And these issues were of great public interest and developing public interest over the course of the summer, through prorogation and into the new fall session. And so, I appreciate the amendment. The main motion, as amended, is supportable. And so I hope that the committee can undertake to do that. And Chair, and I will conclude, but I would like to say that if possible, with the resources of the House and in consultation with the parties, if the committee, which generally meets twice a week, and this committee was identified as a priority committee by the Standing Committee on Procedure and House Affairs at the start of this session, if we can have a second meeting scheduled this week, I think that would be prudent in furthering the business of the committee, knowing that the opportunity even for an extension today with votes after question period, votes before question period, really boxes us in, and then losing next week to a break week. Hopefully we get that work done this week and don't need to come back during a constituency week. So with those thoughts, I'll yield the floor. Thanks.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Barrett. Appreciate it. Also, we'll do what I can. I'll confer with the clerk after the meeting to see what House resources we might possibly be able to shoehorn out of what we have left here right now. I'm going to just review the speakers list. It is Madame Latanzio, Madame Shanahan, Mr. Dong, Mr. Angus, and I see Mr. Workington's removed his hand. So, and I apologize, I inverted. It's actually Madame Latanzio, Madame Shanahan, Mr. Angus, and Mr. Dong. So, Madame Latanzio.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I will now yield the floor to the next speaker. Thank you.
Okay, Madame Shanahan.
I too will yield the floor.
Okay, well, right now the bells are ringing. I'll need unanimous consent.
Chair?
Yes.
Chair, if there's consent to vote on the amendment and then to let everyone go for bells, could you poll the committee to see if we can do that?
I will assume that if the committee wants to vote on the amendment, then you're also giving me unanimous consent to continue on for a few minutes into the bells, because it's my obligation to actually adjourn unless there's unanimous consent, or suspend, I should say. So, colleagues, would you like to move to vote on the amendment? Okay, I see consensus. Then I'll call on the clerk to record that vote.
Thank you. On the amendment of Madame Gaudreau, please say yea if you're in favor, nay if you're against. Mr. Dong?
No.
Monsieur Drouin?
No.
No.
Ms. Latanzio?
No.
Ms. Shanahan?
Against.
Mr. Sorbera?
Against.
Mr. Barrett?
Yay.
Monsieur Gould?
Mr. Gould. Yay.
Mr. Workington?
Yes.
Madame Gaudreau?
Madame Gaudreau. Yay.
Yes. 5 for, 5 against.
Colleagues, there's lots of precedence in regards to how the chair should vote in the case of a tie. And in this case, I think it's rather easy for me because the mover of the motion just voted in favor of the amendment. So in that regard, I'm going to vote along with the yeas, and the amendment will pass.
Should we vote to the main motion now?
We'll go to the main motion now. And I'll rely on the clerk again for another recorded vote.
Point of order, Chair.
Yes,
I
Mr.
thought I thought the unanimous consent was given on voting on the amendment, but not on the main motion. I still have a couple of things to say about the main motion.
Okay, well then, first off, the bells are ringing. If we would need unanimous consent to continue on debate of the main motion. Is there unanimous consent to do that?
Yes.
No, it's withdrawn. All right, colleagues, we're going to suspend for votes.
Weeks into this, I will say that I think it is ridiculous that I had to hear the Bloq claiming that they didn't hear a vote that we had debated for 17 hours, but that's water under the bridge. I think we need to move to the vote and carry on so we can get work. We are here to work for the people of Canada. We have to get